is the BK Lounge Podcast. Welcome to laughs, love, and crazy debates by your two favorite hosts, Burt and Kenny. Join us in talks about military life, relationships, golf life, and so much more. Your new favorite place to come hang out on Sundays. Introducing the BK Lounge Podcast, a Burt's Beat Studios production. And now your hosts, Burt and Kenny.
Welcome back.
What's going on, everyone?
Welcome back, everybody. BK Lounge Podcast, episode 2.
Episode dos.
Dos, as they say in Spanish.
The Spanish.
The Spanish. We're, for those of you who are listening, we're not live. We are pre-recording for our Sunday episode. I'm headed out of town for my sister's wedding.
Wedding time.
Wedding time. Big weekend for her. Shout out to you. I hope you listen to this on your wedding day. That's kind of crazy.
You imagine?
She plays it when she's walking down the aisle.
I think you should.
I think we should.
You're the one that's marrying her.
I am.
So, but I will be home.
Yep.
With the dogs, working, preparing for Thanksgiving. We have a couple busy weeks with Thanksgiving. I have a big tournament coming up in the first week of December.
Big one.
Huge one.
Prepping for it.
Yep. And then we are a few short weeks away from Christmas.
Christmas. Simmer down.
We love Christmas.
We love Christmas. Christmas is great.
Don't say we. I said we first, but...
I do love Christmas, like we've gone over before. It's about timing.
No, it's not. If I could have the tree up and decorations up 365 days a year, I would. I'd just decorate it for different seasons.
You would lose out on the specialness and the excitement of it. Absolutely. You'd get old of it. I'm telling you. You would get old of it. I know it.
You are the Grinch.
I'm not the Grinch. I'm not the Grinch.
He is.
All right. I'm not the Grinch. I love Christmas starting after Thanksgiving.
You only want like 20 days of Christmas. That's like the most...
Like 25, 30, a month, 30 days of Christmas for one day? Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great trade-off.
No.
Anywho, give us a recap of episode 1, Kenny.
Episode 1, we talked about our relationship. We talked about how we got here, our little hometown up in northern Vermont. Or just two Vermonters. No, we talked about our home, our upbringing, our relationship, how Nick fell in love with me, and I turned him down for so many years. You know, how we ended up here. But we had an awesome first podcast, talked about a lot of stuff. Feels like we didn't talk about enough stuff.
No, like the hour went by very quick. We actually went over, got a lot of great feedback from people saying they're excited about this one. So hopefully this one's just as good, if not better.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
So we're going to start off kind of with how you ended up in Charlotte, what you enjoy about Charlotte, what you like most about Charlotte. Get into Charlotte.
So Charlotte. We love Charlotte.
Oh, and actually in Vermont, where we're from, we have a town that's spelled identical, but we call it Charlotte.
It's Charlotte.
Charlotte in Vermont.
And a lot of people think that we're there, but we're not there. But
like, oh, you're in Charlotte? Like, no, we're in Charlotte. Like Charlotte, the actual...
North Carolina.
The real... I don't know, is it a French way of saying it or just a redneck way of saying it?
I think it might be a little redneck, white trash, little number like that.
Yeah. We don't really know... I don't know much about Charlotte in Vermont.
Don't worry about it.
No, we don't need to know. Don't need to know.
But no, so Charlotte, I have been here for almost 2 full years. I was down in Fort Myers for a little over 3, I think it was. But no, I never thought I would be here. I never thought that I was going to move here. Never thought that this was my place, that he would move here, that we would be here, that Charlotte was the spot. But, you know, happy to be here, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
We like it.
Makes 2 of us. I got no complaints.
No. I was down in Florida. I worked at a golf course down there for 3+ years and loved it. Had a great time. Met a lot of great people. Great experience. Great for my job. I worked at another 36-hole facility that honestly catapulted my career. So my career as a golf professional, I owe that place everything. I was a young assistant, kind of worked my way up that ladder into a lead assistant, into a ladies program director. So everything. I had great members, had great experiences, all of the things, but I kind of reached my ceiling. And
Was that the turning point where you're like, I need to go?
I would say so. I mean, there was a few moments, but it's just a matter of timing and it's a matter of place, when, where, how. And it came to a point where I started feeling that way, but I didn't know if it was just because I like felt stuck or what it was. But
Yep.
the year before I left, we got hit with Hurricane Ian.
Yep.
So I don't know if a lot of people know about that, but South Florida got hit really bad with a hurricane 2.5 years ago. Hurricane Ian went through it. It was the most traumatic thing I've probably ever experienced in the sense of natural disaster. People I loved, people I worked with, all of the things, our whole town, our whole city, all of the bottom part of the state was completely gone.
Ugh. Natural disasters are scary to like even think about. I can't imagine actually being in one.
Yeah, and it was supposed to go north of us. It was supposed to go towards Tampa, but it made its way down. And at the time, I had my roommate. She was a basketball coach at one of the colleges down there.
Yep.
So she was worrying about her kids. I had a good group of friends where, we had just started becoming friends. I met them through actually going to physical therapy for my shoulder.
Yep. Bad chicken wing. Bad chicken wing.
Bad wing. I thank hockey for that. But no, had a good group of friends. Actually, my best friend Jess, who lives here with us in Charlotte, her and I started to get closer. But I really didn't have anything that like kept me grounded in the sense of like going through something like that.
Yeah.
And my boss at the time was actually up here in North Carolina at a golf tournament. And so as the person underneath him, it was my responsibility to kind of stay. Yeah. Hunker down, be there for the club, be there for the members, kind of figure it out. And he was trying to make his way back down, but everything was closed. He couldn't get home. So I called my parents right before they turned off the phone towers, all of that.
That's crazy.
No internet, no water, no nothing. And everybody, like, there was police roaming our apartments, kind of just telling us, like, get out,
be gone,
or you're staying and you're going to, make sure you go to the upper apartments, do all of the things. But my parents were like, no way you're doing that. And I was like, I don't have any other options. The highways were closed, all of that. So myself and Bo, my dog,
Bobo,
so him and he was just a little puppy. He had just gotten neutered, so he's like just like a little bean. And I was like, I don't know what to do. So my parents were like, nope, we'll figure it out. And so all of the East Coast was booked with hotels, places, stuff like that. There was nowhere to go. You couldn't go north, you couldn't go south. No matter what side on the West Coast, you're going to get hit. But we ended up finding a small, tiny home, which was like a little room on wheels.
A little shed.
Probably not the best place to be in the middle of a hurricane. Kind of felt like Dorothy and what? Toto? Yeah.
You didn't know Toto?
I was going to say Dodo. I don't know.
Dodo. Oh my gosh.
So Bo and I made our way. It was about, it was about an hour inland from the West Coast off of the Gulf where we were about to get hit. So we were still going to get hit, but not as severe in the sense of water, but high risk for tornadoes.
Okay.
So
one risk to another.
Yep. So there was a little farm. They had this tiny home where we stayed. They had their main, house in their farm and all of that. And they were like, if it gets too bad, you can come to our house. But it was like this young couple, and Bo and I hunkered down during the storm. And it was scary even not being at my apartment in Fort Myers.
Oh, absolutely.
So that happened. Jess stayed back in hers. by all of our guy friends, they stayed back in the apartments, and Mariah stayed with her girls. They ended up getting a hotel that was more inland as well, and they all just stayed there. But I had nowhere else to go, so I just left. But 5 days go by, things got bad, things got ugly. I fueled up my car because at that point, gas stations, all of that are closed. And
running out of fuel probably.
Yeah. So I got all of the things that I thought I needed in the moment, but you truly
have no
don't.
idea.
You
There's
truly
no way.
Yeah, you have no idea.
No idea.
So I made my way back to get together with my friends, make sure everyone was okay, but most importantly, go back to the club.
Right.
So did that. Everybody was okay, but the whole place was destroyed.
Right.
It was nauseating to just drive back home.
Yeah.
You had to show proof of residency to even get back on certain roads. Like, there was nothing.
Yeah, I mean, once you leave something the way it was and you come back and it's completely changed, destroyed, like flooded, that's awful.
Right. And
that's
so
terrible.
People didn't have anything, and people lost their homes, lost their vehicles. There was lives lost, businesses, everything, and our club got 11 feet of surge water on property. So you think about that, you think about 11 feet, and that's me standing on my own shoulders with more on top.
Right.
So, like, to just see water lines, to see houses, to see cars and lakes, to see all of that, it was truly terrifying. And at that point, I didn't even know where to start because I'm just one person.
Right.
And we had...
How many members did you guys have?
We had close to 600 and about, I think, 250 to 300 homes on property.
Jeez.
So all of those houses, all of those cars, everything was gone, including our golf shop. Our golf shop was on the lower end. Our golf cart fleet was on the lower end. Just destroyed. And it took months. And, there was points of weakness where I was like, I can't do this. I'm just going to go home. But there was a part of me that I was like, no, just dig your feet in. It will be okay.
Yeah, you got to do it.
Be a part of this, and you'll figure it out from there. But at that point, we started the rebuild, and we went into our busy season again. And about halfway through, I was like, I can't do this.
Yep.
I can't go through just a rebuild to possibly go through it again.
Right. Yeah.
So at the time, both Jess and I were like, should we move? Should we leave? And we kind of utilized each other because she had just graduated college, figuring out what she wanted to do, was working through her own things. And she was just like, I just needed a change and all of that. And I was like, I do too, but I just need to be... She was getting into her workforce. Right. And I needed to make decisions based off of a better move for my career.
To continue to build yours.
Correct. So I started that process, which in the golf industry, it's a little bit difficult, just like we talked about for you for military last week. But no, her and I, at New Year's Eve, we looked at each other and we said, we're going to do it. It literally, and there will be a time where everybody gets to meet Jess, but if you see us, and it's never good, but it always works itself out.
Oh my God.
But no, New Year's Eve, we were like, yep, we're going to do this. And from there, it was a 5-month turnaround. I found a job, found a place, created a plan. She found a job. We told our families, we told our friends, and we packed up and 1st of May, got in our car and drove to Charlotte and have been here since. But the whole process to get here wasn't because this was the place or...
Right. You always wanted to be here or whatever.
Right. And, like, I had friends here, like we had Britt and Kyle, but at the same time, it was more of like a dart on the wall.
Yeah. But it also fit what you were trying to do with your career and continue to build that. So that obviously helped.
And I never thought that I wanted to go west. I never thought that I wanted to go back north. I didn't want to be in Florida. So, you kind of go halfway back to
Yeah.
what you know,
In
and
between.
that was the
Yeah.
in-between point. But no, I mean, it's been a journey, and to get here, it's crazy. I miss Florida a lot
Absolutely.
of the time.
I miss visiting Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially today. We woke up this morning, our house was freezing, and it was 38 degrees outside.
Yeah, that's like back home temperatures on like a warm day, and I don't miss that.
No.
No.
But we don't get snow, so it's okay. Like, still outside, gave a lesson or two today, but at the end of the day, it's like, this was a place that could give me some of the things that I missed about being back home, like the seasons,
Right.
a little bit of mountains, a little bit of water. We
Right.
have the lake.
Yeah,
we have
we're
all
close
those
to the
things.
lake, short couple hours, we're on the ocean, we can go up to the mountains, like, we've got a lot of options around us.
Mm-hmm. So, no, I mean, the whole process of getting here wasn't easy, probably wasn't smart at times, but
Figured it out.
It was a leap of faith, and, very thankful for having somebody to do it with. Made a lot easier for me.
I can imagine, absolutely.
And for the other person as well, you
Yeah.
know, between the both of us, is we had no idea what we were doing, so we
Right.
kind of just figured it out as we went. But no, came here, got the job. But Charlotte, if anybody's ever been to Charlotte, it is a city, but it's not like New York City or Chicago or Boston. It's not this like big booming city where you get city vibes and,
Right.
we have our high rises and stuff like that, but like we have like small districts around the actual city itself.
Yeah.
So it makes it feel a little bit different than
Absolutely.
actually like a big city.
No, I think I agree with that 100%. Like, it doesn't feel like a huge, big, like you said, New York City, Chicago at all. And you can still be in Charlotte and not be downtown and be like completely separate from it, which is awesome.
Right, because like we rarely go into like downtown.
Right.
Like downtown.
Right.
We go to different places for dinner and like the different districts. We
Yep.
get to walk around, feel different like vibes of wherever we go.
They're all different, which has been cool to see as someone who's never been here.
But we also live in like more suburban area.
Right. Yep.
So, and like my work is also in more of like a suburbia area as
Right.
well. So like all of the differences that make Charlotte is the reason why I love it.
Yeah.
And like I never knew that,
Right.
but that's definitely a reason why I would stay, is like I love a small town feel, but like a small city feel is very similar.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
Is because we have all of the things. Like there are a lot of concerts.
Love them.
A lot of sporting events,
Yep.
not great sporting events, but we have access to them. Like we have the Panthers, we have the Hornets, we have, our minor league baseball
Yep.
team, big NASCAR
Big NASCAR.
city,
Big NASCAR
NASCAR
city.
Hall of Fame,
Yep.
Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Yep.
Talk about white trash, Charlotte vibes,
Yep.
you know what I
Yep.
mean?
Stacy Riley, big NASCAR fan, wants to hit a race. Let's do it, Stacy. Come on.
Yep, we're going to do it.
We're
But
gonna
no,
do it.
I mean, and that's the reason why when you were looking at places and we talked about, should we go to Texas?
Right.
Should we go here? Should we go there? It's like we both needed a place like Charlotte. And so that's why
Agreed.
I decided to stay and
Yeah.
kind of made that transition for both of us.
Right.
Maybe a little bit easier.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And again, I didn't really need to go anywhere specific, obviously, for work, so it made it nice. But there was a time where we were actually thinking about moving to Texas early on in our relationship, and we'll have to dive into that trip at some point on the podcast. Not today. We'll leave them hanging on it. It was a good trip. It was a fun trip.
Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a short little number. It was a fun one.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll talk about it another day. You guys bookmark it.
Yep. We'll beep bop around.
Yep.
Maybe the title of the episode on our social media would be like Texas time or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll figure it out. You guys will know about it.
When the time comes and when everybody gets a feel for the BK Lounge.
Yep. Because we are somewhat organized in this, but we're also
Oh, double also. Double it down.
I'm putting double on also.
Also.
But we also are just constantly jumping around.
Yeah. I mean, we had a plan for last episode and we kind of just let you know who take the wheel. We save one for him every time.
Yep, the big man.
The big
I was
man.
like, are you about to take credit for taking the wheel?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
All right.
But no. No.
I can't.
But that's also a big part of us, and that's what everybody will see is we're gonna kind of beep bop around.
Yep. Or as you and Jess say, meep around, right?
Meep, yeah.
Yeah,
A little
meep.
like meep, like.
Is it meep or meep?
Meep or meep?
No, I said meep or meep.
Meep or meep.
I think we're saying two different things.
See, I have no idea what you're saying. Now you're confusing the people.
People are confused. They listen to me talk a lot.
No. You're not clear.
Okay. Well, they meep around.
We
right?
meep.
Did I not say meep?
No, sure. Yeah. Jess and I meep around. And if you were to see it, you would understand it.
You're like little minions just walking around.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's how Kenny ended up in Charlotte.
Yep.
Not Charlotte, for the Vermonters listening.
But yeah, so no, and it has been a great transition to be here in my lifestyle, and that was a big reason why I moved, is finding a little bit of freedom, being able to do the things that I enjoy, which, in Florida I didn't really have that to the fullest, I would say, we grew up in Vermont. There's a lot of things about Vermont that make me who I am. And,
Absolutely. Yeah.
That was a big part of leaving, and I always talked about that, is Florida's so flat. It's beautiful. You have beaches, you have sunsets, you have sunrises, you have all of the things. Palm trees, warmth.
Yep.
Lizards.
Lizards. There's a lizard on our back deck today.
There's
a little baby one.
I thought that I brought lizards to North Carolina.
Yep.
They have their own lizard species here. So
we don't have lizards in Vermont, do we? Yeah, we got like water lizards.
Like salamanders?
Yeah, salamanders.
Yep. But no, the transition has been good. It's been, there's ups and downs with moves anywhere. But for here, it's been its own journey, but I honestly wouldn't change it for anything. I've met a lot of great people, done a lot of great things. I think Jess and I went to like 13 concerts last summer.
Right.
Because we were like, insane. We were so new. We had nothing that we knew about.
Right. Yeah.
But no, it's an awesome place to be.
Yeah, I agree. Like coming down to Charlotte, I'm still trying to figure out like what my days are. But my days, like right now, I am very lucky. Again, I stream full time, stream a couple hours each day, once or twice a day, from home. So I'm lucky enough to hang out with the boys. Kenny sometimes calls me a stay-at-home dog dad.
Yeah.
Yep. Stay at home with the boys, make some breakfast, feed them if Kenny didn't feed them, or if they stayed in bed with me when she went to work. Sometimes I'm getting after the gym, yard work. I like to clean the house. I like to make sure the dishes are done.
Yep.
I like to do laundry.
Mm-hmm.
What else do I like to do around the house?
You like to meep.
Oh, I meep now.
You don't meep like Jess and I meep. Like, that's a different type of meep, but you do your own meep. You're like a tinkerer. Like, but that's also what we talk about. We talk about, like, what are you doing when I'm at work?
Yeah. Stuff and things.
Stuff and things.
Yeah.
But sometimes I don't think you're being honest, and I think
Oh!
Yeah?
Whoa! Honest about what?
Where'd you go to lunch the other day when you went out?
When I went out?
You went out, I think you went to get the air filters. I think you did something else. I asked you, what did you do today? You told me 5 different places you went. You didn't tell me one.
And I got food?
Yep. Is there any food places that you went this past week without me?
Any food places I went?
That you weren't being honest about.
Did you ask about food and I said no?
No, I asked you what you did today and where'd you go and all the things.
I don't know. Where did I go?
You went to Sonic.
Oh, yeah, I did.
And you never said anything. And it's not like you went to like, oh, I went and got a sandwich at like J. Mike's. You went to Sonic.
Yeah, but last time we had Sonic, you were like, Matt, yeah, this is mid.
No.
Yeah.
Not when it comes to the drinks.
So you want me to snag you ocean water?
I don't want you to snag me anything. I want you to tell me what you've been eating during the day when we have a full fridge out there.
Okay. All right. Fair.
Because you know how I found out?
You were throwing away food of your own?
Nope.
What?
I went to go organize the shoes because I enjoy, if there's shoes everywhere, I kind of just put them.
Yeah. What was by the shoes?
Your receipt. And I'm like,
oh, man.
And I looked at it, and you got enough food for you, me, and both dogs.
Well, I mean, Sonic doesn't have great portions.
That's the most ridiculous
And I also, yeah, I went to Sonic.
Yeah, don't ever not tell me that.
Okay, I'll tell you about my food endeavors on the day.
We have a full fridge at all times. And most of the time, I leave stuff for you to eat.
Yeah.
And
sometimes I do.
No.
Sometimes. Not all the times. Sometimes I do.
Like, he has it so easy. You have it so easy. Is you very rarely have to, like, make your food. Especially if we've cooked. Even when we get takeout or anything like that.
Uh-huh.
Is it's always in the fridge.
Okay. But how many times have you come home with leftovers in the fridge and you're like, meh, I don't want to eat the leftovers. And we go get food or we make something else. So what's the difference?
Because I am working all day. Unlike what you just said you were doing. You're out there meeping, shuffling, doing dishes, doing God knows what.
Yeah, keeping this house clean.
Yeah. God forbid.
Vacuum today. No, I enjoy it.
Yeah, lucky you.
I enjoy it. I enjoy it. What chores do you think, like, are there, like, unwritten, these chores are to be handled by specific people in our relationship, do you think? Like, unwritten, like we've never talked about it?
I mean, yeah. Kind of.
Like, and I don't feel like I'm obligated to do these things. I enjoy doing them and they need to be done.
Yeah.
And I'm also the kind of guy that doesn't like to have dishes sit or dishes that are covered in food or bowls that have food still in them.
Yep.
I don't like that. I can't let that sit. I like to pre-soak. Like, especially you got to get a good pre-soak in.
Mm-hmm.
But that's something that I feel like is an unwritten rule that I always take care of the dishes.
I would agree.
Yeah.
And that's always been the case.
Mm-hmm.
When we were roommates, before this roommate excursion, we had the same thing. You still did the dishes.
Yeah.
All the time. I don't know. He has a weird thing with dishes. Honestly, I hate the dishes.
I also hate the dishwasher.
I love the dishwasher because I hate doing the dishes. But at the same time, I do cook.
Yes.
Yep, I do cook. But I think that when it comes to, like, chores, I don't do that many chores during the week,
right.
Especially if I have a full work week.
Right, yep.
Because the last thing I want to do after working 12 hours is come home and start vacuuming.
Right, no, which is understandable.
You won't catch me ever doing that.
Right, nor will I ever expect it.
Well, no.
Right.
I do expect you to do the dishes if I've slaved over a meal. But I think outside of that,
Okay, yeah, go on.
I don't expect anything else.
Right. Like, there was a time, and we're going to get into it. Actually, no, we'll talk about it later. Laundry. We'll get it. Well, we can dabble about it.
No, go with the dishes, because honestly, I take what I just said back.
Yeah, because
I do expect you to kind of do some chores.
What chores do you expect me to do?
It's not that I expect you to do any particular ones.
But it also makes sense that I'm home all day. Right.
You're home all day.
Right.
So if, like, there was one time, and it has not happened again, we had a Sunday off. We're sitting We're sitting at the kitchen table.
Yep. Having breakfast,
having a good moment. We're having a conversation. It was fine. And then I just let my wheels start to turn and turn and turn.
Mm-hmm.
And I start looking around our house. And I'm looking around. And this was at the time where it was peak summer. So we have a boat up on Lake Norman.
Yep.
So usually my days off, we will go and do it together. We'll invite our friends, do whatever. Go out, have lunch on it. Even just for a couple hours. So Nick was like, let's go out on the boat. And so I'm starting to think, I'm like, we have been on the boat a lot. So I start looking around, scouring around our house. And I'm like, and I quote, I looked at him and I said, this place is a dump.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I'll clean it tomorrow. No problem.
And that's where he said the wrong thing. And it could have just been the moment. It could have been catching me in the wrong angle.
Or it could have been like, let's go do something fun and not clean our house and I will take care of it tomorrow.
But you know what I mean? He says that like, oh, I'll just clean it tomorrow. And then in my mind, I'm like, why didn't you clean it yesterday?
Yep. What have you been doing all week? Meeping around. Ordering Sonic behind my back.
Exactly. Being a slum.
Being a slum.
You're just out here sleeping in, going to fast food restaurants, staying in your sweats.
Yep.
Talking to the dogs.
Talking to the boys. They don't talk back.
And I'm out there sweating, slaving away.
Dealing with people.
For our house.
For the home. For the homestead.
And you're out here just kicked up on a dump of a house.
Yeah, watching cops.
Sweating, and then freaking out and thinking that you need to start,
right?
Practicing doing tuck and roll and stuff like that with the dogs. I don't know.
Yeah,
playing cops and robbers with our dogs?
Sometimes I get in a mindset, I'm like, I'll chase them around the house, and when I get one, I'll put their paws up on the couch and I'll pat them down for weapons.
They read their rights?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they never agree to the rights anyway. But no, yeah, and that did happen, and I was kind of like, okay. And then we kind of got quiet with each other.
Yeah, I turned we have an Alexa. I turned her up, like not like fun music, but like music's like you're gonna stay in this room. I'm gonna go in our bedroom and I'm gonna clean that.
Yep.
And so from there, before my day off, like even today, came home, noticed that he did vacuum, dishes were done,
cleaned up the bar.
Counters were clean, a little organization.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Yep.
It's because he's going to be gone.
Because I'm going to be gone. Her family's coming to town. I don't want to be like, hey, I know your family's coming to town and you got to work. Like,
here's our dump.
Yeah, house should probably be cleaned before that all happens. I'm a thinker. Sometimes it takes a little while to learn.
Okay, yeah. I don't know about that. But, yeah, no. So, we live and we learn when it comes to our chores because I'm not afraid to do my chores or do whatever.
Right.
But I also do the chores that are more like immediate need. He does the things that like take time and overtime is like you clean the bathroom one day and in a week you'll have to clean it. Like I'm very much like I'm cleaning out the fridge.
Right.
I'm doing, things like that. I'm organizing. We have recycling. I'm putting it all together.
Right.
We have empty boxes in the pantry.
Right. About the recycling, do you think that maybe
No.
that you could collapse a box when
No.
Now why don't we collapse boxes?
I don't do that.
So it takes up more room in our bin and sometimes we go through a lot of recycling and literally cannot fit it all.
Nope.
If things were compacted, broken down, like an ice cream box. One side's already busted open. Just bust that other back.
What else?
Phrasing. Open up the other end. And it's just flat. It takes up, instead of 2 inches, it takes up not 2 inches.
Yeah. You have more in 30 seconds than I do in 30 seconds because I'm busy. But anyways, I don't even do that at work.
Yeah, see?
I'm the buyer and I'm the merchandiser at work. And I have a great team that helps me do this and merchandise and creates a beautiful golf shop that we have. But at the same time, when I'm doing the work and I'm zipping through receiving, I'm zipping through orders, special orders, this, that, I get a lot of boxes. I have golf club boxes, bag boxes, merchandise. You know what I do? I stack all the box up like I do at home, and I put it in a corner, and I say, you guys go take it out. And to be honest, that will never change.
Because sometimes I'll go to throw something in recycling and there's just a full box. Like cereal box, just a full box just jammed in there.
It's not jammed. I just slide it right through the crease. But if we had a garage, I guarantee you I would take that box and I'd punt it right to the recycling and then Monday morning. Monday morning. Let me break it down, put it
Yep.
in, walk it to the end of the driveway.
Yep.
You'll be okay.
Yep. Yeah. I guess. Yeah. I mean, I will. But
But no, I do cook.
she does cook. She is the cook of the house. Absolutely. Do you want to tell them what I used to cook when we lived together?
A pork loin?
Okay. First off, pork loin in the oven. I don't see anything wrong with that. Ham steak, veggies, and potatoes.
Ugh.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Caca.
I went through a little vegan kick. Beans.
A can of beans?
It wasn't just canned. There was like diced tomatoes in there and another type of bean. So it was like a double bean and tomato.
He's eating beans and rotel. Just cracked open, throw it in the microwave.
No, I
warm
never
'em.
microwaved it. I put it on the stove because I remember I used to take Snapchats like, oh, look at me cooking. But nobody
And
knew it was just beans.
It's just beans.
was
I
just
knew it was
beans.
beans.
Yeah.
I did, because every time we talk about it, I'm like, you're the guy that just ate a can of beans.
And I lost a lot of weight though. I felt
You were
good.
eating only beans.
I felt good.
And a
That
tomato.
vegan life was something else. Again, if I knew how to cook, I would have stayed on it, but I didn't. I was just eating beans all the time.
Yeah. So he made pork loin. That was like him cooking back in the day. And I didn't really think much of it. Like I said, I was young, naive. I was a fool back in the day.
God, what does that have to do with me cooking a pork loin?
Because now it all makes sense. So if anybody wonders how we eat in this house, if I'm not cooking, we're taking out. We're getting takeout.
No, that's not true.
Well, no, because thanks to my mother, shout out to my mom.
Shout out
For
Stacy.
my birthday in August, she got me a HelloFresh subscription.
Right.
Not for me.
Right.
On
It was
my
kind of
birthday.
like I kind of feel like it was like a backhanded like, here, have this.
She knew.
Nick, you need to learn how to cook.
And we'll get into that. We'll get into
Yeah.
why my mother chose to give me a gift on my birthday for my boyfriend and how it's going to benefit me. Because a couple weeks before,
A couple weeks before what? Your birthday?
yeah,
Okay.
a couple weeks before my birthday, my golf season is in the meat of summer. So North Carolina, our season goes from about May to October. Big season, meat of the summer, a little bit of spring, a little bit of fall. So smack dab in the middle, July, August.
Yep. Just got here in June.
Yep,
Still getting warm to the water.
yep. Putting his feet in the water, giving it a test.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep.
But I had a long day, very long day, had a long week. Those were very often. And it was always like, he knew that I liked to cook. We have like a weird dinner relationship because
we do. It's very weird.
it's so bad because I don't want him to cook because I
Right.
don't want to eat his food.
Right.
But I also don't want to be ungrateful when he's trying to help me. But at the time, we didn't have the HelloFresh.
Right.
We didn't have that. He was just, let me figure out what I can make her.
Right. Because we did have kind of like a talk about like, what the heck? I'm getting home at 9 o'clock. We haven't even talked about dinner. Have you eaten? Oh, you're not eating. Okay, I guess I'll figure it out.
Yeah, because he doesn't eat. He gets to a certain point of the time and he doesn't eat. But yet, I've been working from 7 to 9 o'clock. And then I was like, I haven't eaten all day.
Right.
And I could chew my own arm off.
Right.
So I get home at 9 o'clock and he was like, what do you want for dinner? I could have ripped his head off
Yeah.
and his arms.
Yep.
And then thrown it in the oven and prepared it.
Probably be pretty sweet. Not your type.
No.
You don't like sweet foods.
Nope. But at the same time, I was like, that was like the normal.
Yeah.
And it would drive me crazy because then I would get mad because I'm like, if you're not going to eat and you didn't think about me in my 12 days of work while you were gallivanting around, then let me figure it out right now. Because if he would say, I'll just order DoorDash, I'll get it delivered. Okay, but by the time they get here and I'm actually sitting down to eat, it's going to be 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And that's not what I want.
Right.
And so that didn't work out.
So that kind of that conversation sparked me like, okay, brother, you got to figure it out. Because at that time, I think I was also streaming around like 6 to 8 or like 7 to 9. So it was kind of a weird time in regards to dinner and when Kenny would usually come home from work. So like it was tough at times. But that conversation got me going like, okay, you got to figure it out. Like just make something. when you eat and have some leftovers, or make something and then you both can eat when she gets home. And I had this big grand idea. I was like, I'm going to make chicken. I'm going to get mashed cauliflower. I'm going to get veggies, and it's going to be great. She's going to come home cooked meal, like, look at me go. And I did it. I went to go stream, and I was like, hey, dinner's on the counter. I'm like, all right, sweet. Look at me. I made dinner. It's waiting for her. I'm going to go stream. This is going to be good.
But he was winging it.
Winging it.
So, like, he's not a cook.
No.
Like we just said, when back in his vegan era, he was cooking a can of beans, thinking, like, this is enough for me.
Yeah,
this is right.
Yeah. This is good. This is
like,
what I need.
No. And any vegan out there can write into us and tell him what they eat.
Also, send us your vegan recipes. I'd love to get back on that. Also, they make a mean vegan corn dog.
Okay. Anyways, but like that was at that point way back when I like knew that he would never be the cook.
Right.
Because like the things that he was good at are things that are already prepared for him. That you just unpackage and put it in the oven. Simplicity. So this chicken that he chose to make was a chicken breast that I was going to prepare at some point during the week for something else. Yep. Because I also know how to cook. And I can wing a recipe. Right. Because another shout out, God bless my mother, is she taught us how to cook properly because she is a phenomenal cook.
She does. She makes a mean meal, and I think, your brother-in-law learned that too with his wartime soup.
Yeah, wartime soup.
Yeah, if you guys ever want a good recipe, let us know. We'll send you wartime soup.
That's also disgusting, but you also ate stuff like that because it's just beans and water. Anyways, another reason to be off the subject of this chicken is he's like, in his mind, he's like, I don't know what to season it with, so he just grabs what he thinks. But I had a fresh lemon, a beautiful fresh lemon that I was going to use for my recipe because I was going to make chicken piccata. And most of you know, chicken piccata is white wine, lemon, capers, all of the fun stuff. Really good Italian dish. My mom makes a killer one. But he took this lemon and he sliced it up. And most of you know that if you're going to put like lemon to like bake on chicken, you're going with like a very thin slice, like a hairline slice. Right. No, we're talking about like a garnished wedge.
Yeah, it was a good cut. It was a good cut. It reminded me of like a orange wheel growing up as a kid.
Yep. Like a sangria orange wheel that you get.
I really wanted to get that lemon flavor because I was going for a lemon chicken. And on top of the lemon, I actually seasoned it with lemon pepper seasoning.
Yep, so lemon juice, lemon wedge. Yep. I'm going to call it a wedge.
Yep. It could prop open a door.
Because you can't really call it a wheel because it was more of a lemon tire.
Okay, all right, yep, we get it. It was big piece of lemon.
Huge. So, and then half a bottle of lemon pepper seasoning, like pre-made seasoning.
Yeah, didn't make the seasoning, no.
So, a lot of citrus. So a lot of citrus.
Yeah.
Baked it.
So
when you bake something that's wet, the juices get absorbed into whatever it's being baked on.
Right.
So makes it, covers it, pulls it out, texts me, dinner on the counter. Awesome. I'm starting stream. I will see you after. Perfect. I'm on my way home. Get here. I unveil this chicken. And when I say that this chicken was the most bright, vibrant yellow I have ever seen in my life, I mean, like the sunshine. It was its own ray of light.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So if most of you are going to watch a clip of this at any point, the color of my mug.
Yeah. Yep. Bright. It was yellow. The seasoning was yellow. The lemon juice that I used had a yellow tint to it. Yellow lemons on top. Like I said, I put them on top. And I think I came out right as you were like finishing. Mm-hmm. Because I walked out, I was like, oh, she's eating, like perfect. Like, oh, is dinner okay? And she's like, yep. And then I was like, okay, cool. And I think I went to do something. It came back out. You were not eating anymore. And then I made myself a plate, started eating it. And I'm like, I think there's too much lemon in this. And that's when you told me, like, yeah, that was way too much.
Yeah, no, it was foul. It was absolutely disgusting. But I very much appreciated every second of it. I understood the thought. I understand what we had just gone through the week prior of
Yep.
just being like,
WTF?
help a girl out.
Yep.
Because most of the time, like on my days off, I'm making breakfast. Lunch,
Yep.
dinner, dessert,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a baked good. I make
Yep.
him quiche.
Yep. Love a good quiche.
For his week for
Yep.
breakfast.
Hammer a quiche. Because you guys know I love eggs. For those of you who don't know, a normal day for me is like 6 to 8 eggs, scrambled ham, maybe some cheese, some diced peppers. Biggest omelet I ever ordered. 8 egg omelet.
Yeah.
Home fries toast. Love eggs.
Yeah. No, very, very lovable egg relationship that you have. But
Yeah.
no, so I do a lot in that sense. So I appreciated his thought in being like, I'm going to make her dinner. I wish you would have went back to the pork loin.
The pork. It might make a comeback.
No.
Yeah, come on.
No, I'm okay without it. But at the same time, the sides were good because they were pre-made. Like I said, he's very good at unboxing. Not great at directions.
No, we'll get into that probably right now with the HelloFresh.
So, not great with directions, but when it comes to like a microwavable, like mashed cauliflower, perfection.
Killer. I make a mean microwave mashed cauliflower.
Yeah.
Mean. It tastes good. It's warm throughout. It's not,
Yeah, but honestly, that lemon chicken will haunt him for the rest of his life because my mother, my sister, my friends, all of that, like Jess was here when I took my first bite of that lemon chicken and she was like, and I was like, no. And I was like, it's just, no. But very much appreciated the thought behind it. But it came into the next phase of
cooking with Nick.
Our dinner nights.
Yep.
And it got to the point where I was like, I'd rather starve than ever eat that lemon chicken again.
Yeah.
And my mom, didn't want that for me or for him. So she got me this subscription for my birthday. And now we have it and we have continued to use it because it's a perfect way for him just to get a big sheet of paper, everything in the bag that it comes in, and just make it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But on these beautiful large recipe pamphlets, it gives you the instructions. And we get to choose our meals.
Yep.
Right? Every week we get to choose our meals. So one week I chose the meals and I get home and he was like, I made a HelloFresh.
I was excited.
Yay!
I was like, everything's good. Like, I think it might have been the first HelloFresh that I made. No, it was the second. Yeah.
Yep.
First one I messed up.
First one he messed up.
Didn't cook the rice well. I've never cooked rice before in my life until
And to
31.
be honest, it really wasn't that bad. He was uncomfortable with it, but if you cook rice and you continue to like lift the lid and like look at it or even stir it, bad news.
Yep.
And so he was doing that because he was nervous. He wanted it to be good because our lemon chicken experience, bad.
And my thing is like, I'm so afraid to cook because I don't want it to be bad. And I also like, again, you're like, oh man, you're hungry when it's mealtime. And then if the meal sucks, you're like, this is terrible. I was hungry. And like, that's the last thing I never want to make a bad thing.
Right. So we got into the instructions.
Yep.
And following the instructions because like he just said, his fear is, I don't want it to be bad. That's the point of a recipe, right? The world has created recipes so that we follow them so that it can be good. And this was my point to him. If there is a recipe, why would somebody give you a recipe for it to fail? And in my point that I made to him is we got this beautiful new fire pit, right? And I said, you had the instructions when you built it. Did they tell you to put the fire pit with the stones on the side so that the stones fell out? No. The instructions were so that you could put the fire pit together, flames go up, stones stay in, and it works out because those are the instructions. Same thing with a recipe.
Yep.
And so I come home, he's like, I'm making HelloFresh, yay, whatever. And they were taquitos.
Yep.
And everything, all of the meat is cooked, all of the stuffing is sectioned off, And he goes, okay, they're ready.
And I had the tortillas just on the side.
Just the tortillas still in the wrapper. If you know how to make flour tortillas for tacos, you got to heat them up in a wet paper towel, right?
Yeah, never heard of that until right now.
Exactly, because you don't read the instructions. And so I go, this is not what I ordered.
She was like, no, you're not. And I'm like, yes, I am.
Yeah. And I was like, you're not done.
And she like pointed it out, and I was like,
He was on step 1 still.
well, I was bouncing around because I was like, oh, while I work on the filling, I can cook this. And I missed quite a few steps, and like the whole like rolling them together, filling them, stacking them up, baking them. Missed that whole thing. I thought I was making tacos.
Yeah. So not only did he not read the title of it,
Right.
didn't even look at the pictures.
Yeah, there are pictures too.
Just read that he needed to cook the ground beef.
Yeah.
So we've progressed, and from that moment, he didn't like how I spoke to him slowly.
Yeah, she was explaining to me like I was a damn 4-year-old, and she like took the instructions out of my hand, and I'm like, I don't like this.
Yeah, and I was starving. Point blank. We
could have had freaking tacos.
No. My mother paid a lot of money for our HelloFresh and for you to get it right. So and it's just like anything we manage.
Yep.
If you do it wrong the first time and it just seems to be okay, it's always going to stay wrong.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Fair.
So, it's gotten better.
I don't think I've messed up any HelloFreshes since.
No.
I think sometimes my rice is hit or miss, but that's working on the rice.
Right. But no, our HelloFresh days are good for those 9 o'clock nights that I get home, late stream. They're like 30 minutes. So HelloFresh, shout out to you guys because it makes his life easier and it makes me less hangry.
Right.
Because I'm probably the most hangry human I know.
Right. Like if you guys want to sponsor us, I know you guys sponsored me for Factor. Feel free to throw out a HelloFresh one. We're here.
Yeah.
We're here.
We already do it. So either way. But no, we do divide our household into responsibilities and the things that we do. And there's things that we do on our own because that's what we need.
Yep.
Like our own laundry.
Yep.
There was a moment where he would do mine.
Yep.
And there was a couple times where I did yours.
Yep.
That doesn't work. It
Nope.
doesn't work for us. We handle our laundry very differently.
Very differently.
And we can say why, is you're military. They teach you how to do certain things. They have expectations.
Right. I mean, don't get me wrong, the military definitely helped like with structure. But when it comes to laundry, I do it on the same day, every single week, unless I'm traveling. I throw it in first thing when I wake up. As soon as it's done, goes directly into the dryer. Once the dryer's done, I do a little spin with it.
Yeah.
Check, make sure there's no damp spots. If it is, timer on my phone so I know when it's done. Mm-hmm. Get it out, immediately fold it, immediately put it away. I hate when laundry sits, gets cold, gets wrinkled, and then you go to throw it on and you look like a trash bag. Can't have that. Can't have that. Laundry gets done in a timely manner, folded, put away, bingo, bango, bungo.
Yeah, not me.
No.
No. I'm a busy girl. I truly am. I'm the busiest girl you know.
Yeah, facts. I can't deny that, yeah.
I am the busiest girl you know.
Right.
So, my laundry, I don't even really know what to say about it.
Other than...
So, I do a lot of laundry.
It's everywhere?
Yes. I do a lot of laundry. I have a weird thing about my clothes.
Yeah, she wears a lot of clothes.
So, like, this outfit that I'm wearing today, this is not my first outfit.
Right.
Wasn't even my second outfit. So, it's my third. And I'll go into my fourth eventually, right around the time we go to bed.
Yep.
I'll put on sweatpants, I'll put on a hoodie.
Yep.
I'll put a high bun in,
Yep.
put my glasses back on, and I'll just meep around until I go to bed. Sometimes I switch in the middle of the night, too.
Facts. Yep. Yep.
I might get hot. The pant leg gets all the way up here. Yeah, no. Sometimes it gets crazy.
Yeah.
But I have to do a lot of laundry. But when you have to do a lot of laundry and you wear a lot of outfits, it's hard to keep up with. I don't do it like on Mondays at 8:45, as soon as my eyes open, like somebody else we know, it's like, oh shoot, I want to wear navy pants and my pink top because I want to wear a certain jacket to work because I look fly every morning before I go to work.
Right.
You have to.
She does look good.
So
All the time.
I have to have everything matching, have a certain vibe, whatever it might be. So sometimes I'm like, oh, I wore those pants 3 days ago and I didn't wash them, so I got to wash them tonight. And I'll throw a couple things in it with them from my 8 other outfits I wore in the past 2 days. But it takes advantage of me.
Right.
It piles up.
Do you think the laundry in 2 different places of the house takes advantage of you too when you're trying to find things? Like you have to go from like the living room to check that basket to then the bedroom to check that basket if you're looking for a pair of pants?
Usually there's no laundry in the living room, but recently there's one basket in the living room that's haunting me. It is. Because you know what happened is I did a midweek laundry load because I needed a pair of pants.
Yep.
And our girl Jess had to do her laundry and added to the hamper of half basket of laundry I already had. Terrible. Thought about it earlier this morning when I sat next to it and had my cup of coffee. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, that's terrible. But whatever. Not great at laundry. Doesn't mean everything's clean and like very, very clean. Sometimes maybe too clean.
Right.
But the whole...
Yeah, there's never like piles and piles of dirty laundry where she's confused of like what's clean, what's dirty. That is not a thing, no.
No, I never have dirty laundry.
No.
It's just a lot of clean laundry.
Also, why do you wash your towels with your clothes?
I don't usually.
You don't?
No.
I always thought you did.
No.
I was a question that is...
It's probably from one load to the other in the same hamper that you're getting confused about.
Yeah, because I like to keep them separate.
Yeah, no, I'll do towels in the same load.
Got it. So that was actually one of the write-ins that we had on the Burt's Beat Discord in the section for the podcast. Another write-in, kind of going back to food, does pineapple belong on pizza?
Yeah, we kept getting this one. Also, I'm not a pizza girl.
But you are, though. I really feel like you are.
I'm not a pizza girl. There's never a moment where I'm like, let's get pizza. Ever.
We went to the Legion and we're like, we split a pizza.
We did, because you like pizza. But I'm never going to go to a pizza place and be like, oh, I can't wait to have this pizza. To be honest, if I go to an Italian restaurant or like an actual pizza place, is I'm going to get something else.
I think you like pizza more than you lead on to be.
I don't like hate pizza.
Right.
I don't think it's the most disgusting thing.
Right.
But I'm not going to choose to eat pizza.
So if you were to choose to eat pizza, would you put pineapple on it?
I don't mind it.
Yeah, I think I don't mind it either. But it's just like something about fruit on a pizza, just it's a hard no for me. Like my mom used to get Hawaiian pizza all the time growing up. Mm-hmm. And I just thought it was just weird to me. Like
ham, bacon, and pineapple for a Hawaiian, I don't think that's terrible.
I mean, I don't think it's terrible, but it's nothing I'd be like, oh man, I really want a Hawaiian piece of pizza right now. I can't do that.
I would. I'd do it.
No, I can't. It's just, I think it's like something with like the squish. It's like almost like rubbery.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that, I don't know. I think weird food concoctions, and like that's such like a controversial topic. I think that everybody that writes in or does stuff like that to anybody,
it's always that.
There's always that. Because like people will talk about that when you stream.
Yep.
As they'll like throw this in there, throw that in there. Like people are worried about where my laundry is on your stream.
Yeah, I mean people are interested in a lot of things in our life that are just kind of off the wall.
It's just like, don't worry about my load of laundry that's sitting next to our Christmas tree right now.
And yes, our Christmas tree is up.
Christmas tree's up. Yep. Veterans Day.
Veterans Day went up.
We did it for the troops.
We did it for the troops.
So.
That we did. And then the last write-in for this episode, if you could have endless amounts of one thing without spending any money, what would it be? I think I know yours.
What's mine?
Shoes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
Oh my God.
Over the last week, I've just found, she just comes in with shoe boxes. I'm like, new shoes? She's like, yeah, I just got them. Or, oh, it was buy one, get one, 50% off on Nike. Or, oh yeah, I got these last week. They've been at work, and I'm just like,
I'm
holy
I'm a loyal shoe shopper.
Yeah.
So they, like, why wouldn't Nike? I am on staff with Adidas.
Right.
So I do have, like, 5 or 6 pairs coming in the new year.
Oh.
Little spark. Little bing, bang, bong.
Interesting. How many pairs of shoes do you think you actually have?
Well, before you moved in, I had close to 52 pairs. And that's after I brought a couple of them to Plato's Closet and then donated some.
Do you think you... Wow. I can't... 52 pairs of shoes?
I don't know. Yeah.
But, like...
Probably more now.
Like, you need to... There's got to be shoes you don't wear.
There is.
Then why don't you sell them or get rid of them?
Just in case. If I need them for an outfit. Has there ever been a moment where I wear an outfit where my shoes don't match what I'm wearing?
No.
Exactly.
No.
I never want to be in that situation.
The just in case?
But, like, that's the thing. Yeah, the just in case.
Yeah, so I think that kind of goes back to my thought on bulk ordering things. Just in case.
No.
Just in case.
No.
Another topic for another episode.
Yeah,
that was a hot take when I moved down here, and the things that I brought with me were questioned.
We'll talk about Nick's doomsday prepping that he loves to do.
God.
Like what you see on TLC and like in the newspaper of like how people have like these like apocalyptic bulkheads with 6,000 things of loofahs or something like that. That's him.
No, this is lies. We'll talk about that maybe next episode. Definitely in the upcoming ones.
But if you could have one thing,
I don't know. I really don't know. Do you honestly want to know what the first thing that came to my mind was when I read this question?
But it could be anything.
Right.
Like, you could tell me corn dogs.
So the first thing I thought of was hot dogs. The very first thing that came to my mind was hot dogs.
So like if you could have one thing, it doesn't heighten your cholesterol, make you fat, and you don't have to spend money. Just endless hot dogs.
No, and like I said, that was the first thing. But the more I think about it, I think I'd have endless vehicles, endless cars. Just a new car every week, every 3 months.
To be honest, when I read this question as I was getting ready for this podcast for us and writing our like script, there was another question that was similar to it, and it was almost like if you could have one room in your house that was dedicated to one thing, what would it be? You know what came to my mind?
What?
And this kind of comes with like how I think about cars and like if you were to be able to be on an app being like, today I want an Audi R8, tomorrow I want a, Ford Raptor, this, and this, and then it just shows up in the morning. Is my room would be like the Spy Kids movie. Like, you know what I mean?
No,
and they have that microwave and they have those little tokens. They put it in. They ask for a McDonald's Big Mac meal. Put it in, 30 seconds, bang, it's right there. And then you have gadgets everywhere. They have the electric shock gumballs. I would have a Spy Kids room. I would. With that microwave. And I would do a Big Mac or something weird like that. Or an Al's French fry or something.
I am baffled, for one. Secondly, not surprising, never seen a Spy Kids movie. Ever.
That is the most ridiculous thing.
Is that the one that the kids dress up as a shark?
No, that's Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Read a book. I don't know what to say to that, and that honestly is infuriating. He's never seen Harry Potter's or anything like that. That's red flag. He's a red flag.
Oh my God,
Spy Kids, red flag.
Dramatic.
He probably just watched like Mr. Rogers and didn't watch anything else in his childhood.
Mr. Rogers, OG.
He dressed up as him for Halloween one year, so.
I did, and I killed it. Everyone loved it. I had the hand puppets and everything. People were like, oh my God, that's so great.
That's
so
so
awesome.
creepy.
No, it's not.
You're a weird, creepy substitute teacher, Mr. Riley.
Oh my God, I can't stand you.
Well, on that note.
Yeah, that's the end of episode 2 of the BK Lounge. Make sure y'all check us out at thebkloungepod.com. Our socials are there. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. And then we will be filming our next podcast, hopefully live, over at twitch.tv/thebkpod. Any last words, Kenneth?
We'll see you next time.
Toodaloo, y'all. Y'all be good.
This has been the BK Lounge Podcast with Burt and Kenny. We hope you enjoyed your time diving deep in on wild topics, listening to crazy stories, and hanging out with us. We'll see you next week live on Twitch. Be sure to check out our website for all our social links at www.thebkloungepod.com. Y'all be good now, and we'll see you next time.